in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Hey, mostly cloudy good morning to you. Jonathan Dent sitting in for Terry Henne. Took a little bit of a break while Charlie handled the Focus program, but I'm back for the Farm Show here. I hope your day is going well wherever you might be. Terry's out for today, but we hope to see him return later this week. In the meantime, we'll get through markets, weather, and more. Goodness gracious. Right now, looking out the window, I'm seeing many clouds in the sky, and looking around the state, I think we're pretty much the only ones under cloudy skies, maybe a little bit up north. Sault Ste. Marie also registering cloudy, but we're the lone spot of overcast in Michigan for the most part here. We're looking at much cooler temperatures setting in for the remainder of this week, and they're not really going anywhere as fall starts to take over, except Friday, and we'll get to that. We still don't expect to see much in the way of precipitation either through the remainder of the week. That dreaded F word starts to crop up in the overnight hours. Last night we got down to 40 degrees for a low, not too far of a drop from the 66-degree high we hit during the afternoon. This morning there was some pretty sparse fog, but it was around in patches. Like I said, I'm seeing pretty cloudy skies out there right now, but those should clear up. On the thermometer right now out at the airport, 55 degrees. Downtown Midlands looking at 56 degrees. Here at Radio Center, we're also at 55. Northwest winds 8 miles per hour. Barometric pressure right now holding steady at 30.01. We're expecting to get up to around 67 degrees for a high today. That mostly sunny forecast, at least as we move into the afternoon, will help us warm up a little bit. Some slight northwest winds, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight we dip into the mid-30s range, and without much cloud cover to speak of, we might see some patches of frost here and there. Tomorrow we'll have clear skies. Once again, temperatures reaching up into the mid to high 60s. 66 degrees is our projected high for tomorrow. Overnight tomorrow night, a little bit warmer, still those clear skies. 38 degrees is our low. Still no clouds really going into Thursday, though, as we continue to cool down, a high of 64 degrees. A few clouds move in overnight Thursday, and will be a little bit warmer overnight, low to mid 40s range Thursday night, and that's a sign of things to come, at least for Friday, as we very quickly shoot up to the upper 70s for a high, and under partly cloudy skies, might even hit 80 one more time this year. It's a little bit too soon to say. I think 78 to 79 more likely for a high on Friday. It's just for one day, though. As we move into the weekend, right back to the mid-60s on Saturday, some clouds moving in. Saturday night sees our next best chance for a shower or two. We get down to around 40 degrees with that scattered precipitation. Those showers carry over into Sunday morning and into the afternoon before that starts to clear off. That'll give us a high of around 60 on Sunday before continuing to cool down, possibly looking into the 50s range for a high as soon as Monday. Our long-range outlook takes us through October 21st. We're looking at above average temperatures, below average precipitation continued. I know it's been very dry. Hopefully that little shot of rain we get over the weekend, hopefully it stays in the forecast, but hopefully it gives us a little bit of a drink. But we're looking at a continued patch of below average precipitation through mid to late November, October here. I won't go as far as November, mid to late October here. Our average high for this date, 64 degrees, average low of 44. Our record high for October the 8th was set in 2007 when we hit 90 degrees. Our record low in 1952 was 28. So Not in danger of hitting either of those. We're looking at fall weather setting back in. Spike on Friday with a shot of rain over the weekend. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. Sun will set this evening at 7:04. Rise tomorrow morning at 7:44. We'll take a couple more looks at that weather as we move on through the broadcast today, but let's get to our market report. We've got Abby Terwilliger with the Andersons standing by. Then we'll head over to Oppenheimer and talk with Doug Klein. All of that's ahead, but first, the weather report today brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor Parts. New parts for old tractors made easy. So simple. All you have to do is call 800-234-3280 or go to steinertractor.com. Remember, they share your enthusiasm for your antique machine, and they know that you want to keep it running. That's why they take their job personally at Steiner Tractor Parts, because they understand your life and job both stop if your tractor stops running. Want to make that unit look really sharp this coming summer? Show it off a little bit at the shows? You can do that. Steiner Tractor. For more information, go to steinertractor.com.
Time for our market report on this Tuesday morning. We say good morning to Abby Terwilliger with the Andersons. Abby, I just got my first look at some estimates here for the morning, and seems like you drew the short straw today.
I did. I think last week was my good week to be on a Tuesday, and now we might be going back to our stretch of not so great Tuesdays.
So what's going on?
Right now, the biggest thing on the board is soybeans. New crop soybeans are down 18. A lot of that, I believe, is coming from the increased rainfall in Brazil and what's in the forecast to come. It's been extremely dry down there. They haven't been able to get in and plant. And now that they're getting some rain / seeing some in the future, they're able to do it. And then along with the, just the pressure of the U.S. harvest as we go on.
Absolutely. So what do you got on the board right now?
On the board right now, we got new crop corn, $3.50, new crop soybeans, $9.40. Current red wheat, $4.97, and white wheat, $5.47.
So you mentioned soy as being the big mover today. What's going on with wheat? Doesn't look like it's moving too much, and corn, downward trend. Is that what you're seeing too?
Yep, corn, new crop corn is actually down 5 right now. Wheat it's bouncing around 0 to 1 under. It hasn't had a whole lot of movement today in wheat. Same thing, I think, with corn is just the better Brazilian weather and the harvest pressure that, we're seeing here in the U.S. Looks like from the report that came out yesterday, we're 30% harvested for corn across the U.S.
Absolutely. I'm going to be looking at that a little bit later on. And in terms of wheat, just kind of keep on keeping on, huh?
Yep. Hopefully we get some moisture here. I see we have a little bit in the forecast for Sunday. Doesn't look super promising, but would be good to get some for that wheat that has been planted to give it a little bit of a drink and maybe urge a few more guys to put some in the ground.
Well, we'll do our best, Abby. Thank you very much. You have a good week.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you. Abby Terwilliger with the Andersons. Over we go now to Doug Klein at Oppenheimer. Doug, what do we got going on today?
Well, it looks like China's getting hammered today, anywhere from 6.5% to 9.5% on their stock market, depending on what what security you own there. Crude oil is getting slammed pretty good, about 4.8% down. That's welcome relief, but it's still 73.40, so that's not cheap enough yet. Gasoline at 205 on the wholesale, should put us at 270-ish, but that ain't in the cards, not too soon. The precious metals kind of getting hit pretty good. Silver the worst, down 5% today. So that's going on. Stock market's okay, getting a little bounce back from yesterday's kind of a beat down. So we'll see where that goes. We're really close to hitting all-time highs on the stock market. So there's really no big concern out there, just a little nervousness, I guess. So here's your numbers. The December corn is $4.20, down 6 cents. March corn $4.37 down 5.5. November soybeans $10.14 down 19.5. January soybeans $10.32 down 19.75. December wheat $5.90 down 1.75. And the March wheat is $6.14 down 2.25. The crude oil is $73.48 down $3.66. Heating oil $228.94 down 10.5 cents. Gasoline $205.77 down 9.5 cents. Natural gas $272.8, that is down 1.8 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, US dollar buys $1.3674 Canadian. That's up 58 ticks, and that's showing a stronger dollar against the Canadians. As far as the yen goes, the dollar buys 148.26 yen. That's up 8 ticks. The euro's at 109.65, down 9 ticks, slipped under 110. And the dollar's at 102.64, up 10.5 ticks. As I mentioned, the precious metals getting hit a little bit today. Gold's at $26.25.80, down $40.20. Silver's $30.42. That's down $1.58. That's a heavy hit. Platinum's $963.10, down $20.70. Copper's at $443.80. That's down 12.5 cents.
All right. Thanks for keeping an eye out for us. We'll check in with you again.
Sounds good.
All right. Doug Klein from over at Oppenheimer. Let's head over now. We find Jerry Samolsky. I believe this is Jerry. I haven't screened the call, so this could just be someone random calling in. Jerry, is that you?
Well, I could be random today, but
okay.
No, it's me.
I figured. Who else calls it this time? Jerry from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center. What do you got for us today?
We've just been talking about, the drought and dry weather we've had. We talked now is a good time to fertilize your trees and shrubs. Even your lawn is a great time because they get ready. They store all those carbohydrates, all that energy in the roots, and they get ready to go for next year. Well, part of the thing is we need moisture to get that fertilizer to move down and become available. So even though now is the time, I'm going to say, geez, if you've done it in your irrigating, you're doing just fine. But if you're not irrigating, you should probably not be thinking about doing those fertilizers. Much of the fertilizer, if you're using straight urea products, those are going to volatilize and go away within 3 weeks. So if you have a slow release formulation, you could use it. But, fertilizing, we're still good into November. So we've got time, even mid-November, a lot of time yet. We just got to get some rain here, Jonathan.
Hey, we're trying our best. You mentioned irrigating, and should we be careful with putting water on our lawns when it's dropping to mid-30s overnight here over the next few nights?
Not at all. If you're in the desert and you're dying of thirst, and all of a sudden in the desert, it can get pretty cold at night. You still need water. It has no bearing. It needs water bad. I think we're going to start losing turf because typically a lot of turf can go through a drought situation, turn brown, and then come back. I'm afraid we might be losing turf and it just won't come back. So I've got a couple areas. I irrigate my plants and water my plants. I don't irrigate my turf. So I've got some areas of turf I'm afraid I'm going to lose. And I've checked, and it's not grubs. If you've got deep brown spots, check for grubs. Just dig up a couple little pieces and put it back, and you'll see the grubs down there, and you'll see a lot of them. If there's enough that they're killing turf, you'll see a lot of them. You won't have to look very hard. So I don't have grubs, but I am very, very dry areas.
All right. Good stuff, Jerry. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you again.
Yes, sir, Jonathan. Have a good day.
You too. Jerry Samolsky with Bay Landscaping and Garden Center. We'll take a quick break, then we'll check in with Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency.
I'm Steve Cook from Cook Chevrolet in Vassar, where we are loaded with inventory. We always try to stock as many Chevys as we can, but with even more on the way, it's time to make some room. So check out these all-new offers. Four-wheel drive 2024 Silverado Crew Cabs starting at just $199 a month. How about the all-new 2025 Equinox? Totally redesigned, sharper than ever. Lease it for as little as $302 a month. And if you need a little more size, the 2025 Blazer is now available from $311. If you've been thinking of a new vehicle, the timing is right. Get out today. That's the Cook Superstore, M15, top of the hill in Vassar. Silverado's $199, Equinox is $302, and Chevy Blazer's now only $311.
Payments based on GM employee and family lease, 10,000 miles per year, and includes all rebates. $2,000 cash down plus first payment and tax due at signing. Call or visit us on the web at cookchevysuperstore.com. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Krizak's House Family Restaurant. If you've got to supply the food for an event coming up, and there's a lot of them I know, and you've got to supply the food, here's the number, 989-894-5531. You give them a call, tell them what you want, they'll prepare it, have it ready for you, take it back to your event, and you will be a hero at your event. Krizak's House, also a great place to dine in. Corner of Cass in Michigan on Bay City's south side.
Time to head over to the Rummel Insurance Agency. That's where we find Craig Voorhees this morning. Let me get you set up on the phone before I go over to you. Craig, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Jonathan. How are you?
Doing well. How are things going in your neck of the woods?
Oh, we're busy as always, and I just thought I'd take a minute this morning to let folks know that the open enrollment for the health insurance and Medicare supplements is coming up, if not already started. And we have a division in the agency that handles all of that. I don't do any of it, but we have a specialized group of people that take care of it. They can help you out with all that stuff, and they can help out employers too if they're looking for health plans for their employees, or if we've got farmers looking for health plans for their families or their employees. Again, we've got a group of folks set aside. That's all they do, and they'd be happy to help.
Plenty of hoops to jump through with all of that, so it's good to have a little bit of help where that's concerned.
It certainly is. I used to do that stuff many moons ago, but I got out of it, and I don't miss it. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely. Especially with how often they change things, isn't it?
Yes, when the Obamacare and the marketplace came into play, that really turned everything upside down, and I was out of it before that. And you really got to pay attention to all that, and we let the folks specialize in that.
Absolutely. Craig, thank you very much for the information, and we'll talk to you again.
All right. Thanks, Jonathan. Have a good afternoon.
You too. Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Insurance Agency. Time to head over to Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo. Eric, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Jonathan?
I'm doing well. What do you got for us today?
I just wanted to talk a little bit about one of the things that the IRS is kind of got on their watch list. And I see this a lot when we're preparing tax returns. We have a number of people that have kind of small side business activities that go on, and many of those kick out a loss that is used to offset other income on their tax return. This is something that the IRS is kind of got on their watch list and are keeping an eye out for, especially those that report large losses from activities like that year after year. So one of the things that the IRS has said is if that business activity shows a profit in 3 out of the last 5 years, then we actually have a safe harbor, and they're going to consider that a legitimate business activity. But if it's kicking out losses year after year, then it really comes down to more of a facts and circumstances case. So in that case, you're going to have to prove to the IRS in an audit that you have a business motive behind the activity, and you're not just doing it for losses or deductions for tax purposes, or it's not just a hobby too. So it could be a hobby activity, but they generally we'll say on a hobby, if you generate income, you can offset that income with deductions, but you can't create losses to offset other income. So it's just something to watch if you're in a business activity and it's really more of a hobby. Really need to show some kind of profit there on a semi-regular basis, or the IRS may come looking.
Absolutely. Good advice, Eric. Thank you very much. You have a good one.
Hey, you too.
Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo Accounting. We'll be right back, and we'll take a look at what's going on in New York after this.
Soil prep for next year begins as soon as the harvest is over. Don't miss out on nutrients you can return to your soil. Applying a Dairy Dew compost blend accelerates the conversion of crop stubble into next year's plant food. That remaining plant material is full of nutrients that you want to return to the soil. Dairy Dew blends from Morgan Composting, like K2, Gypsum Plus, and Layer Ash Blend with Gypsum, helps with decomposition, releasing those nutrients for next year's crops, while also adding good biology and other missing nutrients to your soil. Like a lot of things right now, supplies are limited, so contact Morgan Composting to place your order for fall and lock in your price now. Crops don't wait. The seasons don't wait. You shouldn't wait. Address soil health now for better yields next year. Not sure which is the best Dairy Dew compost blend for your fields? Contact a soil health expert at Morgan Composting for a consultation and soil testing. Call today or visit dairydew.com to learn more.
Brought to you today by the folks at Michigan Truck Spring of Saginaw, your complete parts and service headquarters for light, medium, and heavy-duty trucks and trailers, as well as buses and recreational vehicles. Quality parts and service at very competitive prices for well over 45 years. 800-358-4751 or buy online at truckspring.com. And don't forget, they're open Monday through Friday till 11 p.m.
Over to Baird & Company we go. That's where we find Teresa on this Tuesday. I keep wanting to say Wednesday, Tuesday morning. Teresa, what's the Tuesday news?
The Tuesday news, we've got some green going on this morning now with the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 82 points at 42,037, 251 million shares traded. NASDAQ as well up 228 at 18,151, 397 million shares traded there. Some stocks of local interest include Caterpillar at 388.30, down 995, Deere 401.64, down 440, CMS Energy 70.13, up 36, Dow 53.36, down $1.26, DuPont 85.21, down 73, Corteva 57.13, down 33, General Motors 46.30, up 33, Trinseo 6.25, down 16, Walmart 79.35, up a quarter, Huntington Bank 14.76, up 12, Independent Bank 32.25, up 40, and AT&T at 21.79, up a penny.
All right, Teresa, thank you very much. We'll talk to you again on Thursday.
Have a great day.
You too. Teresa DeBow with Baird & Company. Farm Service Today brought to you by Freeland Bean and Grain, your Dairyland seed dealer carrying a full line of corn and Enlist soybean seed, proven weed control designed to get you at a better harvest. Right now, they have an industry-leading 14% cash discount until October 15th and a good supply across all Dairyland varieties, including the all-new Vorseed and PowerCore Enlist traded corn hybrids. Contact Justin Varner for more information. Dairyland Seed, we got seed with your name on it from your friends at Freeland Bean and Grain since 1983, where serving you is their business. We'll be right back.
Looking for top quality equipment? Look no further than Ellen's Equipment, your trusted New Holland dealer. With locations in McBain, Beale City, and Ithaca, they've got you covered with the latest New Holland equipment, including tractors, sprayers, combines, choppers, and more. Plus, they're proud to offer free parts delivery within 15 miles of each location. That's right, free delivery straight to your door, saving you time and hassle. Visit Ellen's Equipment today in McBain, Ithaca, or Beale City and discover the power of New Holland.
That's all for now. We'll be back at 12:30 with an update, so be sure to stick around for that. In the meantime, we'll conclude this program with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coins in Bay City.